One of her two sisters suppressed a tiny sob. Stephanie, probably. Youngest and by far the most impetuous. Emily would be kneeling in quiet dignity, thinking her mysterious inner thoughts. Another sob rose up, rather less suppressed, from a female throat in the ranks behind her. Two more sobs, both at once, one of them belonging unmistakably to the Baroness von Spitzberg, of whose 5 children only 2 were commonly known to be sired by her husband, the Baron. Like a dam strained to bursting, the tears broke out among the ladies of the household and the court. A tide of weeping rose to its flood, echoing endlessly along the soaring nave of Holstein Cathedral, as Prince Rudolph's lovers, mistresses, and convenient instruments of carnal relief lamented his loss to heaven above. Luisa crossed herself and rose. She was the ruler of Holstein-Schweinwald-Hunhof now, and someone had to take charge of this undignified display of emotion. She nodded to the priest and walked up to the caskets. A low chord issued from the massive pipe organ at the rear of the cathedral, a gift of the Duke of Olympia, the brother of Prince Rudolph's English first wife, Luisa's mother, on the occasion of her marriage. Luisa came to a stop in front of her father's proud nose. How was it possible that this pile of sculpted flesh, which so perfectly resembled Prince Rudolph, no longer contained his soul? Auf Wiedersehen, she whispered softly, which was an odd choice because they all spoke English to one another within the family. Prince Rudolph had been sent to school in England. Her mother was English. They had often spent much of the summer visiting English relatives, but the final farewell came out in German. Auf Wiedersehen. Until we meet again. Her sisters were behind her, waiting to pay respect. Luisa moved to the next casket. Peter, her old friend, her new husband. Over the winter following the death in childbed of his 3rd wife, Prince Rudolph had called Luisa into his library and told her that he had given up hope of a male heir, that he would have her created crown princess in a state ceremony, and that she would be married at the same time to reassure the people of a strong leadership, a secure succession, and a damn good party. After all, what loyal subject doesn't love a royal wedding? Her father had chosen Peter for her, and she hadn't objected. She'd known him all her life. The son of the Prince of neighbouring Baden-Wusthof, more agreeable than most gentlemen, and rather handsome, really, when he could be persuaded to endure the attentions of a valet. Why object? She was a princess after all. She had always known that her body belonged to the state, to the people of Holstein-Schweinwald-Hunhof, and not to herself. That was the price one paid for privilege. It was her duty. She might as well complain that she had to rise and dress in the morning, or that, in order to live, she had to trouble herself to breathe. Now she gazed on Peter's still face, on his spindly body, dressed in its rich burial clothes, and a cold anger rose up in her chest. Peter had only been doing his duty too. He had married her in a tedious 3-hour ceremony. He had moved to Holstein Castle. He had plunged without complaint into all the responsibilities of the consort to a ruler in waiting. And for this he had been ambushed in a forest, shot like a dog, and left to die. Next to her, Stephanie was sobbing quietly into a white lace-edged handkerchief. Emily's shoulders heaved. But Luisa felt no desire to cry. She had no wish to waste her time on useless mourning. Auf Wiedersehen, she said softly to Peter, and then she turned and walked down the centre aisle of the cathedral, looking neither right nor left, while her sisters and the church officials hastily assembled themselves to walk behind her. The air was chilly, crisp, with the promise of autumn. In the distance, the white-tipped peaks of the Alpine foothills rose like an echo above the jagged rooftops. Thousands of people thronged in the cathedral square, their red-rimmed eyes gazing at her in eerie silence.